So 17 through 24. Okay, so on 17, what times what would give me 56, but add together give me 15? Okay, good. All right, what times what would give me negative 135, but add together give me negative 6? Negative 13 and 9? Negative 15. Okay, sorry. I was like, that's not math. What happened? Okay, negative 104 and 5. What numbers? Okay, and then 20? Okay, and 21? Okay, and for those of you who are like, how are they doing this so quickly? This is what you should do in your mind. Okay, the next number is 120. What are factors of 120? Well, 1 and 120, 2 and 60, 12 and 10. Okay, so you're going to keep listing things out until you get two things that you can add together to get the bottom number. Okay, so you always want to make like a running list. Okay, so what were these two numbers? Anybody come up with these? What was it? 15 and 8. You're like, I wouldn't know that off the top of my head unless I listed them all out, right? Okay, on the next one, we've got 10 and negative 1. On the next one, we've got negative 4 and negative 1. A factor by the end of today, huh? Yeah. The goal is for you to be able to factor by the end of today. This is the thing that you want to be able to take away with Algebra 1, okay? Because you want to be able to do it in geometry, Algebra 2, and pre-calc. So please let this be the one thing you get out of this semester, okay? All right, so on this first one, we're going to factor each trinomial. So again, same concept. Your first times your last number is going to go in the top. Your middle number is going to go in the bottom. So we need numbers that multiply to get you 6, but add to get you 5. So 1 times 6 gives me 6. 2 times 3 gives me 6. If I add 1 and 6 together, that gives me 7. 2 and 3, that gives me 5. So what two numbers will work? 2 and 3. Okay. On number 2, I'm sorry, the expression was really weird when it printed. It's x squared plus 5x plus 4. Can you take a moment? Can you try 2? And can you try number 3? Let's talk. So a times c is 4. B is 5. I don't know why I put this on the left. It should be on right. It should be on the left. Okay. That multiplies to get you 4, but add to get you 5. So multiples of 4, 4 and 1, 2 and 2. 4 plus 1 is 5. 2 plus 2 is 4. So it would be 4 and 1. Okay. What? Yes. What's up? Yes. Middle term goes on the bottom.
And then the one without the x, it always goes on the top.
For anything that has an a term of 1, yes. But really, I want you to think a times c goes in the top. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, on the next one, we got 20 in the top, 9 on the bottom. What multiplies to get you 20? That's 1, 20, 2, 10, 4, 5. So that's going to be 21, 12, 9. All right, so 4 and 5 would work. We okay on that? Okay, on the next 3, once you've filled in these little spaces, you're going to write it out in factored form. You're going to say like x plus whatever times x plus whatever. Okay, take a second. On this one, we would have gotten 21 in the top, negative 10 in the bottom. So multiplies to get you 21, but adds to get you negative 10. So that's going to be 3, 7, 121. 3 and 7 work, but they have to be negative. Okay, so this is going to be x minus 3 times x minus 7. Okay, on the next one, same concept, 30 in the top, 11 in the bottom. 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, 6 times 5. 6 and 5 work. This will be x plus 6 times x plus 5. Okay, I see a lot of writing. So did we not know what to do? No, we didn't know what to do? Not the half. All right, try number 6. Okay, so multiply to get us 16, add to get us negative 10. Okay, so multiply to get us 16, add to get us negative 10. That's 116, 2, 8, 4, 4. What adds together? Negative 2, negative 8. So this is going to be x minus 2 times x minus 8. Are there any questions about those problems? Here's where we start getting more advanced. On the next one, we see that our a term has now turned into a number other than 1. Okay, so 3 times 15 gives me what? Okay, and then we need to add together to get negative 14. So multiples of 45 are going to be 1 and 45, 3 and 15. What else? 9 and 5. Which ones add together to get us from negative 14? Negative 9, negative 5. Okay. On the next one, go ahead and do 8 and 9. Try these two. Don't forget your a term is no longer 1. Chat. So on this one, we get negative 26 on the top. Okay, where did that come from? 2 times negative 13. Yeah. Okay. So multiplies to get you negative 26. So that's going to be 1, 26, 2, 13. Well, 2 and 13 can add together to get me 11, right? All right, the next one, 2 times 21, that's 42. And then we can add together to get 17. So 1 times 21. Okay, 2 times 21. Sorry, got ahead of myself. 1 times 42. 2 times 21. What else? What else are factors? 6 and 7. What else? 3 and 14. 3 and 14 add together to get me 17. Yeah. When you make these lists, I do not expect you to know all the factors of like 42. I don't expect you to do it. Just make a list. On your SAT, which I know y'all aren't going to take now, but eventually on your SAT, they'll have like questions very similar to this. Okay. Not all of them are like this, but they'll ask you like factors of whatever number. Okay. There used to be a non-calculator portion. I don't know if there still is. I will be posting some SAT practice stuff later on. One of my friends just finished her book on SAT math prep. So I'll give that. Yes. All right. So between Marcus and Raj, I guess is his name. Okay. Which one do you agree with? Because one of them is right. You got a 50-50 shot. If you don't know, like if you can't come to a conclusion, I'm going to tell you right now in this unit, if you don't know, plug it into Desmos. Desmos shows you the answer. So for instance, okay, Desmos. We're going to type this junk in. Okay, so x plus 1, x minus 2 equal to 0. Right, we're going to type it in exactly how they have it, right? X minus 1 times x plus 2 equals 0. Where does it cross the x-axis? At negative 2 and 1, right? And that's what he said it did, right? Okay, on the next one, he said like x times x minus 3 equals 7. Where does that cross? That crosses at negative 1.45, I'm sorry, 54 and 4.54. Is that what he said? No, Raj is wrong. Yeah. So many a times, if you don't know, plug it in Desmo. Okay, so Marcus was right. Okay. Right. So today we're going to talk about solving the equation. So up on the board, I wrote these different things. We've talked about multiply. Okay, I'll write this on here real quick. We've talked about multiplying, and that went from intercept form to standard. Okay, factoring went from standard to intercept form. Okay, now solving is going from standard to intercept the actual solution. So this is what we're talking about today. I need you to be comfortable with these 3 words, okay? Because if they say solve, that's technically different from factoring, okay? Like, yes, you're going to factor, but you do an extra step. So you need to pay attention to what is the question asking you to do. Is it asking you to factor or is it asking you to find a solution? Okay, so you need to make sure you know those. Okay, on here, to solve this equation, Tyler wrote this out in the following steps. Analyze Tyler's work and write down what Tyler did in each step. Okay, so just look at this step and then look at the one below it. So right here, what happened? We had a 99 here, and then 99 went over here. What did he do? Turn it to a negative, so he subtracted, right? Okay, from here to here, what did he do? He went from standard to intercept form. So what is that called? Standard to intercept form. What is that called? Factoring. So he factored. Okay, from here to here, what did he do? He broke these into two pieces and set them equal to what? 0, which is solving, right? Well, we're gonna say set equal to 0, and then on the last step, he actually solved. So from here to here. Okay, now these are the steps that we do for actual solving. So notice how it's the exact same thing as what we have been doing. You're just doing one extra step, which is getting x by itself. Okay, so we're gonna do this one together. The first thing that you want to make sure you have is it's in standard form. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This is the important part. It has to equal 0. If it doesn't equal 0, you got to move some stuff over. Okay, so it's already set up. Okay, let's factor. So let's do the big X. What's A times C? 15. And then B is 8. What two numbers can I multiply to get me 15, but add to get me 8? Okay. Now, you can do the box method, or since your A term is 1, you can just take these two numbers and slap an X in front of it. It does the same thing. Then you do the slip and slide, or you do the box method. Yeah. Now, it said solve. So we're going to take each one of these and set it equal to 0 and solve. So we're going to take x plus 3 equal to 0. X plus 5 equal to 0. And now we want x by itself, so we're going to subtract 3 and subtract 5. And here are my two solutions. It's not in standard form. We got to move that 11 to the other side. Okay, so we're going to move to 11 to the other side by subtracting. So that's going to be x squared minus 10x minus 11 equals 0. And now we can factor. Can you try this one? Oh, when you factored this, you should have gotten negative 11 in the top, negative 10 in the bottom. What two numbers can I multiply to get me negative 11, but add to get me negative 10? So it should be negative 11 and 1, right? Yeah. Because the bigger number rules. So what I mean by that is if it's negative on the bottom, then the bigger number is going to be negative. If it's positive on the bottom, then the bigger number is going to be positive. Okay. So then if we solve, we're going to get x equals 11 and x equals negative 1. We okay on that? All right. Normally everybody's pretty good at when A is equal to 1. Now, when A is not equal to 1, this is where we kind of have some problems. Okay. The first thing we got to do is make sure it's in standard form. So we got to move that 8 to the other side. And so it's going to give me 5x squared plus 21x plus 4 equals 0. Now we're going to factor. Okay. So what's 5 times 4? 20. 21 is going to go in the bottom. What two numbers can I multiply together to get me 20, but add together to get me 21? 20 and 1. Okay. Here's the important part. You can do the box method or you can do the slip and slide method. It seems to be that most people are good at the slip and slide method, so I'm going to show you that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 5 and divide both of these by 5. So what's 20 divided by 5? Okay, so we're just gonna bring 4 down and put an X in front of it. If we get a fraction, that's when we're gonna do the slip and slide part. So take the 5, move it to the top, move that guy over. So this will give me 5x plus 1. We're still not done. We have to solve. Right? So when we solve, we're going to take both of these and set them equal to 0. X plus 4 equal to 0. 5x plus 1 equal to 0. So we're going to get negative 4. And then subtract 1. Divide by 5. So x equals negative 1/5. You can leave it as a fraction. If you want to work in decimal land, that's fine too. Okay, so we're going to move the 15 to the other side. So that gives me 6x squared plus 11x minus 35. Everybody good? Now, we're going to do the big X. What's 6 times negative 35? Okay, and then B is 11. I don't know factors of 210. You kind of have to make a list. Okay, so 1 times 210 is 210. 2 times 105 is 210. Is there 3 times something? 70. Is there 4 times something? No. What about 5 times something? What about 6 times something? Okay. What about 7 times something? What about 8 times something? Nope. 9 times something? 10 times something?
21.
Okay. I can add 21 and 10 together to get you 11, right? I don't expect you to know the factors of 210, but you are able to list them out. Okay. Everybody okay at this point? Now, the slip inside method, you're going to take that A term and you're going to divide both of these by that A term. Here's the important part. This is the part that we haven't seen yet. You need to simplify the fraction before you start doing anything. So negative 10 and 6, what are they both divisible by?
2.
2. So this is going to give me negative 5 over 3. That's still a fraction. So we're going to move that up, push that guy over. So this is going to give me 3x minus 5. 21 and 6, they're both divisible by what? 3. So that's going to give me 7 over 2. And we're going to push that up, push that guy over. So 2x plus 7. If you don't simplify, you get the wrong answer. Like if you just push this up to the top, it would be wrong. Are we done? No, because it said solve. So we're going to take each one of these and set it equal to 0 and solve. Can you do that real quick? Yes, you're going to get fractions. Okay. So you should have gotten, when you solve, you're going to get 5/3 and negative 7/2. So those are your two solutions. Yes, it's okay to get fractions.